Time to pull some blades out. This is always a precarious thing. You fumble and you do things, just never 100% best way to do it, but now's the time. Okay. Smoke alarm. Let's see here. So, pull them out. Set it for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and start pulling them out at 20. It's just hard to start pulling them all out and getting them all organized. That's it. Get that. There we go. So, there's the gut hook. There's the gut hook knife. Cleaned up my hunting knife there, so that's good. That's going to hang now for a bit. There's that for a second. Want to reach in there and hook that, get that pin hole or lanyard hole. Another one there. This one, I'm not sure if this one's going to be mine. Well, I got two shaped like this, so one's going to be mine and the other one's going to be the raffle knife. I finally was able to make some progress here. Small injuries and such are still plaguing me for a bit, so I had some shoulder issues. So now I'm just trying to get progress done in the shop here. Try to get something finished at least. But so now this will drop down in temperature. This has got to go all the way down to about 400 degrees. Then I'll go back and put the blades back in there again afterwards. When the kiln's cooled down enough, I'll put it back in there and put them in at 950 and temper them. Or put them in at 450, put it in a third sequence. And because this has already been through two sequences, there's a quenching, then there's the heat treat. Now I'm going to go through tempering, and the tempering is going to be at 950 degrees, and that's going to go for a couple of hours. And then I just let them set. They just cool down tonight. So there's the other one. So lots of carbonization. It's just pretty how those colors come through. It's too bad they don't stay there though. I've had somebody ask me, hey, can I get my knife done and keep that on there? But I told them, I said, well, yeah, I could, but as you use it and you clean it and sharpen it, all that carbon starts to get scratched off, so it's not worth doing that way. There's people out there that Cerakote and they blue knives and such like that, but I haven't gotten to Cerakoting that yet. I think it's pretty cool. I think Cerakoting's neat. I just haven't gotten there yet. And the style of knife I do, lends itself to stay more just the steel look that you see. Bluing, I was interested in bluing, but I was interested in bluing to give it more of almost like that Hamon look. Like if you guys ever seen the Japanese swords, and you see the different shades, and you'll see like this wavy pattern across the top, across the spine of the sword. And the bottom part, well, it is they put a clay on there, and when they do the heat treat, they fire it. They don't put it in these. They put it actually in a fire treatment. Then it takes it out, and then you quench it in a liquid. It's usually like an oil of some sorts. Sometimes they even do salt quenching. And then afterwards, clean it all off. You'll dip it in an acid, a chloric acid, hydrochloric, I think it is. Ferrochloric acid, I believe, ferrochloric acid. You'll dip it in that, soak it for a few seconds or a minute, pull it back out, and it gives you that wavy look. And what it does is that putting the clay across the spine keeps the spine softer than what the belly of the steel when it's exposed to heat. They're not wrapped like I wrap these. This is a whole different treatment for D2, like CPM 154 and O1 and A2 and S1 and all these different steels that are out there. They all have different treatment processes. So what it ultimately boils down to is that Hamon helps the spine of the sword, because they're really long and what they're used for, helps the spine of the sword stay flexible, but the edge of the belly of the knife take an edge well. So by doing bluing, I've seen a couple of knives out there where guys do bluing, and I don't remember the steel. I don't know if I don't think it was D2. I think it was more like your 1085s, 1095s, where the heat treatment process is a lot less. The heat is like 1600 degrees, something like that. This is 1875 degrees. And a liquid, they dip it in water or oil and such. This is air quenching. But anyhow, I digress. I thought about the bluing because I thought maybe it'd give it a neat little look, like a rustic look, like an older fashioned knife back in the maybe 1800s or something like that. But that and bolsters and some other things I just haven't gotten to yet. So I just want to fine tune what I'm doing now and get down 3 decent production knives, which I think I'm doing. The neck knives, a little 5.5 inch. My bush knife, which is what I got going on here, and then my 12-inch knife, which is also another bush knife. But so I've got those 3 knives as a production type knife, and every once in a while I do a unique, a one-of for a customer, such as that hunting knife with the gut hook on it. That's a one-of. Or some of my smaller knives that where my bush knife lends itself to be 9 inches in length. Some of the smaller knives were more like the 7-inch length, or they didn't have instead of using the 1.5 inches to have a full belly, they wanted more like 1.25 inches. They wanted a narrower profile. So I've done that. If you check my Facebook and my MeWe page, you'll see that one of the knives had a bird's eye maple, stabilized bird's eye maple with purple liner and a purple Kydex sheath. That was a lot of purple. It's a pretty knife when you see it in person, but it was a lot of purple. That's what she liked. So the purple, definitely a unique to a person, but also the fact that I did the grind different. The bevel, you'll see there's a grind line that's different than all the other knives. And there's also, it's narrower and it's a little bit shorter. So, but anyhow, I thought I'd share this, guys, with you. Pulling these out, I've got 2 neck knives to finish up. I got to hand sand them, and then I'll have 3 neck knives to throw in the kiln. And I'll do those separately than the big ones. They go through the same process, just less time, because they're smaller and you do heat treat per inch, but not only the thickness of the steel, but the lengths and such. Then also the fact that I didn't want to mix match all these different things, but I also wanted to get this raffle knife done because between my shoulder and some of the other issues we had, we were helping out a family that was in need. So that took me a week away from the shop, and my vacuum pump went down. I apparently didn't maintain it as well as I should have. So I'm waiting for the oil. I had to take it apart, clean it, and I'm waiting for oil to come so I can get my vacuum pump up and running. And I also have scales inside the pressure pot I've showed some pictures about. So I got pressure pot going, and hopefully I didn't mess up my pump too bad and I can still use it. So I'll find it out when I get my oil, but hopefully, fingers crossed. Redirections sometimes. In this case, I probably should have paid more attention. But anyhow, guys, thanks for stopping by.
Hopefully everybody's having a good one. It is middle of January, and it's a little cool out here by us in the Pacific Northwest. A little contrary to what we normally get is rain. It hasn't rained too much, but it's been pretty darn cold. But hopefully everybody else is staying warm, staying out of trouble. Take it easy, and your new year is going well. Take care. Bye.